5 months into divorce, it's still hard. Yeah, it is, right? I was telling the story about how I took someone's food by accident. I didn't know. Thank you, Beck. Life is hard enough without being poop-faced, says someone. I'm so glad you got sober. I mean, that's the reason that I used, was because life was so hard. Like, not hard, like, it wasn't that hard. Other people do it, but life was, for me, just for me. I couldn't even take it. I feel like such a failure admitting that life got too hard. So I had to take myself out of life with substances. That's like a horrible thing to admit, especially when you've got kids. Like I did, and what I've learned to do in these next 7 months is man up and just deal with it, And I've really, I've found that acceptance has been huge for me. I wish my ex could get sober. Your life contains themes that some people may find uncomfortable. Oh, because I said, you've got to be so careful what you said. Let me just say that I didn't mean that. What should I say? This life doesn't contain content mentioned in the notice. It said self-harm in the notice, but restricted for 10 minutes. I suppose I did talk about that, really, didn't I? It is, like, using is self-harm, isn't it? So for 10 minutes it's going to be intimate. I don't know if I can stay up any longer than 10 minutes. I'm 52. I'm 52 and I've just spent the evening with my kids. It's really nice to see you in a positive light. Thanks, Franny. Everyone's being so nice. What's going on? Actually, the last time, I've only been on TikTok live 3 times since I got sober. The first time was wild. And each time I go on, people are nicer, which is nice. I did have a nice evening with my kids. Well, there's a load of new notifications coming up. AI Summary just said, a TikTok creator shares his sobriety story with his audience. That's so weird that AI is summarising what's going on here. That's so weird. I'm not a TikTok creator either, I'm a composer. This is all accident. If you'd done any real growth, you wouldn't be here fishing for attention. Still is a couple. Still a couple. It only hurts me, a bad comment only hurts me if it's true. And there are sometimes people leave bad comments and there's an element of true in them. And then I go, oh God. But that one isn't true, so I don't mind that one. Michigan. Good evening to Michigan. Attention seeking on both sides of this storyline. What does that mean? What's the other side of this storyline? Did you add spice to your coffee? Whoa, what's that? Kristen, oh my God, Christian left me a nice swan thing. That's nice, thank you. I haven't seen one of them for ages. I haven't seen any one of those things for ages. Do you remember I used to do battles? Do you remember I used to do live battles and I would get so excited when I got something like that? The pink machine was the big one. The pink machine used to drive me insane. And I wasn't even high when I was doing that. I'm in a WhatsApp group chat. Have you ever been in a WhatsApp group chat and it's just constantly going and you want to get off? How do you get out of a WhatsApp group? How do you get out of a WhatsApp group chat? Hey, dear friend, says Candice Dawn 41. Hello. Do we know each other? We're restricted, guys. We're restricted because I mentioned 2 restrictions. Whoa, this live has got 2 restrictions. Let's see what they are. I know the first one. Okay. We didn't comply with the For You feed requirements because I mentioned DUR. I mean, I do want to talk about this though. I said something that could have been thought of as, can I even say it now? It's annoying that you can't talk about addiction, like without getting restricted. But I do want to talk about it. We'll figure it out. See, my ego, because I'm a very egotistical man, I'm looking at that number going, it's only 90. There should be hundreds of people in here, and there's only 90 because we're restricted, and I'm upset about it. I'm trying to not be that kind of person anymore. I'm really, really trying. You should restart or you'll be blocked. Well, Shannon, this is an exercise for me to accept things. And I'm trying to accept that I said something that they found wrong and they restricted me, and that's fine. And there's only not even 100 people in it. That's fine. That doesn't mean this is unpopular. No, I am trying to not be in ego with stuff like this anymore, because it has made me miserable and insufferable and a complete nightmare. I did step work with my sponsor, and we realised that I swapped my addiction to substances to addiction to work, and I put so much pressure on everyone I worked with. I became a tyrant. And I became a tyrant and incredibly hard to be around. And then because people found me hard to be around, I was like, people are being weird to me. But it was what I realised is that sorry, not another restriction. Is that another restriction? No. Most of the things that I feel are unfair or wrong in my life, or this shouldn't be happening, everything like that in my life, I have caused it. At some point in my life, I made a decision, conscious decision, out of selfishness, which has caused this bad situation to happen. Every time, I'm the reason this unfair thing is happening. It's something I've done in the past. Every time. Oh, they don't like talking about other platforms than they use AI. God, it's getting so restricted. So they restricted me for saying, I'm going to say it now, because I'm not going to stay on this live too long. I'm in a WhatsApp group and I want to get out of it. you must have this group chats. It's going off all the time, and I like the guys. It's recovery based group chat. I'm going to be honest because I'm honest. Why not? It's a Sex and Love Addicts Anonymous, which I also go to, and we have a group chat. But it's so active. I've left one message in this group chat that I thought was really funny, and no one laughed. So now I don't want F them. I'm joking, but I did make a really funny joke on the WhatsApp, and no one laughed. I guess you shouldn't make jokes in recovery WhatsApps. Okay, I can't take this. I'm a very egotistical, small-minded gentleman, and I can't take the fact that we're being restricted, so I am going to restart. Sorry, it does sometimes. I try to be better, and it just doesn't work. Okay, come back in a minute. Can't take this. I'm a very egotistical, small-minded gentleman, and I can't take the fact that we're being restricted, so I am going to restart. Sorry, it does sometimes. I try to be better, and it just doesn't work. Okay, come back in a minute. AI summary, sorry. She was, sorry, I'm just going to say, AI summary of my video just got it completely wrong. Oh, no, it didn't get it wrong. It said, a popular TikTok creator. I don't know about that. That might be wrong. It definitely was wrong 6 months ago. Wait, it might come up again. I've never seen that before. It's distracting having an AI. Thank you, Titania. Having an AI summary of what you're doing in your face is weird, especially when it says you're sharing a sobriety journey with over a year sober, which isn't true. I have 7.5 months. What practical things have kept you sober? Low AA meetings, people asking for help. People asking for help. It's been huge. Anyway, so you can do hard things. That's so sweet. You guys have been so sweet. So Emily, talking about the representation for the other side, literally said to me, this is one of my favorite cases because the difference in you is so extreme. And I've never seen anything. I'm not blowing my own trumpet. It's nothing to do. I didn't do it. AA helped me. People helped me. My God helped me. I believe in God. I didn't do it. I tried to get sober on my own, and you guys saw the results of that. So, that doesn't work. It's giving manic, says Kaylee Wright. A lot of people think I'm manic. Since I got sober, that's been a thing. But I'm not. I got tested for it. I'm not. I don't have any. What's the word? Conditions. The amount of man pleasers in here is gross. LOL. Why do they always write LOL? He literally was awful to Laura and admitted he was. I was, yeah. I'm an addict. It's not absolving myself of it. I was horrible, and I'm gonna attempt to make amends for it to everyone that I was horrible to. It wasn't I just gotta make an amends. And the other funny thing about an amends is you can't just say sorry, because sorry means nothing from an addict. Nothing. Sorry means nothing from an addict. In fact, no words out of an addict's mouth mean anything, because I'm an incredible liar. Ridiculously good at lying when I'm using. It's crazy. So I can say sorry till I'm blue in the face. And no one should listen. Even when I'm sober. I can still go into fantasy and lying and manipulation, and I still have that in me. Someone told me it's called the shadow self. So I've got to make that guy as quiet as possible. And it's hard to do that when you're you just lied about never being arrested before. I didn't say I haven't been arrested before. I said I've never been in court before. Never been in court before. And now suddenly I'm in court for two things at the same time. So I didn't have been arrested before. Do you think you're a narcissist? I'm going to answer honestly. I think I have said honestly in the past that I did think it. And I have thought it at times in my life. When I'm on any mood-altering drugs, it seems to ignite that part of my personality like crazy. So it's definitely there. It's definitely there. I don't feel connected to that part of myself right now, and that's only because I'm going to 9 or 10 recovery meetings a week, literally. I mean, on Tuesday I went to 3 meetings. Yesterday I went to 2. Today I went to 1, and I was gonna go to 1 now, and I just missed it because I was putting my kids to sleep. But every Wednesday I go to an SLAA meeting at night, which is Sex and Love Addicts Anonymous. And all of my other meetings are AA. Thank you, Aura. Thank you, Sandra. Rachel just says, Timu. Timu. Normally you'd at least get Timu something. No. Biggest takeaway getting sober. Okay, so something I learned yesterday, which is a big takeaway, is there's a difference between guilt and shame. So guilt is I did something effed up and I'm sorry about it, and there's an opportunity in guilt for change, because you can look at it and go, oh, I feel so guilty about that, and then you can have an opportunity, a door is open to change, for me to change. Shame is I did a bad thing, therefore I am a bad person. Now shame is trickier, because shame is almost letting yourself off the hook, because the kids are how old now? They're going to be 7 and 5. They're 4 and 6 right now. But they're going to be 7 and 5 next month. So shame is destructive. There's nothing good or positive about shame. Guilt can be positive, and I can find hope in shame, because shame is a little door to open to change. Oh my gosh, you exist in my life right now. Thank you. Is that good? I don't know. Is that good? Probably not good. So I can feel guilty about something and acknowledge I did wrong and try to change myself so I don't do it again. But if I go into shame, I've closed the door for further work. So if I look at what I did when I was using and I feel guilt about it, I can go to my sponsor and we can work through what my character defects are, what character defects of mine caused this to happen. So the way we do it is called a step 4. So you'll do what the person is. There's 4 columns. The person, what they did, what it affected, my part. So you write the person, what they did to you, what it affected, and then your part. So a lot of mine are me. A lot of my I'm resentful. It's a resentment list. Step 4 is a list of every effed up thing you've done, basically, a life story of effed up things. So my step 4 is a lot of resentments against myself this time. I'm resentful at me because I did this thing. What did it affect? What was my part? And it's easy to see my part when I've done it. And then you go through your family. You go through mum, dad, and that's hard because you have to go right back through some traumatic stuff to go, this happened and I'm resentful. You have to go right back to the beginning. You have to be fearless and thorough, it says in the 12 steps, a fearless and thorough moral inventory. So it takes ages. It can take ages to do a step 4. I've done the steps 4 times. So this is my 4th time doing a step 4. But if I feel guilty about something I've done, I can put it on my step 4, and I can. Emily, you're so sweet. Thank you. You can put it on your step 4 and see what character defect caused me to do that, and then I can work on that character defect with my sponsor. So guilt is productive, shame is destructive. Because if I'm in shame, I don't want to go there at all. I'm like, ugh. So although on one level I'm ashamed of how I behaved in a lot of ways when I was all the ways. I'm not ashamed of anything I did when I'm using. I'm pretty much ashamed of it all. But if I'm ashamed of it, like ashamed, I'm going to go, look at everything I did. I'm a bad person. End of story. And I could go there with a lot of the stuff. A lot of the stuff I did, you saw it all. I posted it all. A lot of stuff, I'm on the fence. I could definitely go to shame for a lot of it. But that's letting myself off the hook. So I don't do it. I go to guilt and I write about it. And then a sober date is better than a death date. That's very true. So I will look at that thing, and I'm going through now all my resentments towards myself, towards every resentment I've ever had has to go in a step 4. Isn't that crazy? But the thing is, you've returned to the top 20 of live streams. Oh wow, look at that. See, now my ego feels nice. Remember when my last live was restricted and I couldn't deal with the fact that it wasn't doing that well? That's ego. That's a character defect. That is a character defect, what I just told you there. So let's do a step 4 on it, shall we? Let's do a step 4 on it. Okay, here we go. Ready? Ready to do a step 4 with me? Do you want me to do a step 4 on that childish way I just behaved on TikTok? Because I will. Okay, here we go. Who am I resentful at? TikTok. It's the first column, TikTok. What did they do? They restricted my live stream so that it was less than 100 people in it. What did that affect? My self-esteem, my ego. I'm not monetizing these lives, but like if I was battling and it restricted that, it would be pocketbook. The book was written in the 30s, so it says things like pocketbook. So that's not the case with this one because I don't monetize TikTok at all. So it's affected my self-esteem, my ego, my ambition, pride. And what's my part? My part in that is I am trying to get validation from other people. So my part in this TikTok resentment is that I am trying to make myself feel good by what you think of me and how many of you are watching my live. That's my part in this resentment. So the character defects of low self-esteem, pride and ego cause me to feel resentful towards TikTok. But then the step 4, that bit at the end, I go, okay, it's my fault because I'm trying to get validation by a number on a screen and the amount of people that are watching my TikTok live. Does that make sense? So that's a step 4. I've just done a step 4 with you on that resentment. So I have to do that for I wouldn't put that on my step 4 for my sponsor because that was just a little one that I wouldn't have, I won't be on my mind tomorrow. But everything that's constantly on my mind, I write down in my step 4. Thanks, Ashley. I mean, look, the thing is, I'm well known online by accident. I didn't want it, but I am, so I might as well. I've done some effed up shit online, and I've upset a lot of people, and I've made people worry about me, and I've been an arse. I might as well. At one point in my sobriety, I was like, I'm just going to give up social media. And someone said to me in a meeting, why don't you speak honestly? Because I think they follow me and they know that I've spoke honestly in the past about what you're doing now, and it might help people. And I was like, oh, okay, well, all right, I'll try it. So I would miss you guys if I stopped, but I did think about it. Any chance of reconciliation with your ex for the sake of your family? I don't know, and I don't have any, I can't control that. And if I try to control that, then it's not being in acceptance of what is. Maybe you should be doing it to those around you rather than strangers. I am actually doing it to other people around me as well. And strangers have been a part of my life for 10 years. I started doing this by accident 10 years ago. So I don't feel like you're strangers. To me, you guys are literally a part of my life. And I know that may sound weird, but when you've been doing this for 10 years, we literally started making videos in 2015. And I think we blew up in 2017. So to me, you guys are a part of my life. Like, you can't do something for 10 years and it not be integrate into your psyche. Does that make sense? And I know that this is TikTok, and maybe you guys think that perhaps you guys don't realise that some people can have been doing this that long. I'm very old. I'm 52. And TikTok's, relatively new, isn't it? But yeah, anyway. I've been sober for 7.5 months. Thank you, Megan. Every time I see you in a live, I always join. Oh, that's so sweet. Well, follow. That's bad, see? But I'm going to do it because I'm a very small-minded, egotistical man. Follow me, though. Come on. Come on, give us a follow. Come on. I've just said all that about self-esteem. Getting self-esteem from strangers. And here I am, urging you desperately to follow me. I'm desperate for the number to go up. I'm desperate for the number to go up. I've been so used to all the numbers going down. I've been so used to every number just crashing through the floor. So every number, it's crazy. And it really upset me. And then when I just let it go, which took me a while to do, I had to get in very depressed before I let it go. And I let it go. And now I see it as funny. I see it as funny how many followers are just leaving because I guess because it's not so dramatic, it's not so crazy. And as soon as I let it go and started to find it funny, the numbers started going up again. Not that I look at numbers. And my son Alfie was born the same day. Oh, he's on the spectrum too. Oh, lots of love to your Alfie. I follow because I'm proud of you. Oh my God, you guys are so sweet. Are you still on speaking terms with Laura? Yes, I am. Do you have a new sponsor or the old one? I have my old sponsor, and the reason is he's brilliant, and it's me is the reason that I messed that up. I mean, he's the best sponsor. I think most people would agree that he's the best sponsor, and I relapsed because I stopped going to meetings, Vix Moffat. And then pupils dilated, your sponsor has failed, says someone who's got a star as their profile. You remind me of Rod Stewart. I don't understand. I don't think that's not a good thing, is it? Is that a good thing? Isn't he like... Is he dead? He's not dead, is he? I followed you after... Followed... Can you just leave us alone now? Like, get off social media and do some soul searching. I do soul searching all day. Destiny Marie, you little... I can come on here if I want. I'm not going to leave you alone. Just going to stay here. And every time you try to go to sleep, I'm just going to be on your phone. And you're going to have no part of that. I'm just going to show up on your phone. Can you leave us alone? No, I'm not going to leave you alone. "13 years sober, Gemini. Congratulations on that. Oh, lots of people following me, look. I'm such an egotistical man that makes me happy. I shouldn't care, but I do. I care about stuff like that. 52. It's not very seemly, is it? Hi, butterfly emoji. 10 years clean of heroin. Well, congratulations. Sorry, I slipped into a stutter there. I was like, where can I say that on TikTok? Probably not, guys. Probably not say that on TikTok. How long were you sober for the last time? 8. I had 10 years. I got sober in 2004. Relapsed in 2014. Back in recovery 2015. 8 years from 2015 I was sober, and then I relapsed. Just adopted a baby, wow. Is this all a media stunt with Laura? If this is a media stunt, we would have to be the most genius PR people in the history of the world, and we would have had to involve the courts. 2 courts in our media stunt. Are we the most genius media manipulation team since Malcolm McLaren and Vivienne Westwood? Or is this real? Thank you for saying that, Kayla. I don't know. I am working on music. Yes, Sandra. I am sober right now. Mia, I've been sober for... I'm posting new music on YouTube every Sunday. How are you this evening, says Josie. I am pretty good. My music's very weird. It doesn't really fit into any genre. Yeah, they gave me my YouTube back. I was banned off YouTube for 2 years mainly. Can you say COVID on here? For misinformation about COVID. Turned out it wasn't misinformation. Turned out it was true. So they gave me my channel back. So I got my YouTube back. My name. To be honest, it wasn't just the COVID. I was acting nuts on there. Too. But I think the reason they got rid of it was they said it was conspiracy theories. But I don't know specifically. They don't tell you specifically. And then they said you can never go on YouTube ever again. The email said your channel's gone, terminated, and you can never go on YouTube again. Not only that, but if you go on anyone else's channel, we'll take their channel down as well. It was brutal. I got that email 2 years ago. And that was a big source of my revenue, big source of business for me, YouTube, monetization on there. And it was like, oh my God. And it was such a blow. And I love YouTube. I actually love YouTube. I love watching YouTube. I love everything. I love creating on YouTube. And I didn't admit it at the time because I wanted to look like it didn't matter. I was like, oh, I don't care. I did tell everyone I was going to go on hunger strike. I was high. I told people I was going to go on hunger strike. And then the news, I actually went on the mainstream media news because I said I was going to. See, this is so embarrassing. This needs to go on my step 4. Resentful at myself for acting like a complete pillock around the YouTube channel deletion, and resentful at YouTube for deleting my channel, but they gave it back to me now. So that's good. Got it back. So just search for me on there. I post on there a lot. You're a funny guy. I like your work. Thank you. I got it back in, it's Stephen Hilton 23 on YouTube, yeah. I got it back in October last year, but I didn't find out myself until November. People were DMing me going, someone's on YouTube pretending to be you. And I went on YouTube and I was like, God, someone's got loads of followers pretending to be me, loads of subscribers. This is so depressing. And I was like, wait, that is me. And then I couldn't quite believe it. And then I got an email from YouTube saying what was the wording they used? We were basically lent on by the Biden administration to remove your channel. I'm sure it's an email, it's just a blanket email that they sent out to a load of creators because they did, how do I deal with drinking being in rehab? My friend did that at my house after graduating. How do I deal with drinking after being in rehab? Get yourself to a meeting. Get yourself to a meeting and tell them what you've done. And then you ask for help as well. Ask for help. How do you deal with harsh comments? I'm used to it because I've been doing this for 10 years. So it's kind of like you build a thick skin after doing this for so long that you don't it doesn't affect you so much, I don't think. And I'm on the spectrum. I'm level 2 autistic according to Dr. Amen, and I think that helps. The video Serenity Period, beautiful. Thank you. That's nice to hear. I'm slowly building the old YouTube back because obviously if you're deleted for 2 years, you got to start from scratch again, even though you've got a lot of subscribers. So it's just building up. People need to know you're back, and they need to know what you're doing, and the YouTube algorithm needs to know what you're doing. So, you know, it's good. It's encouraging when people tell me that they like the videos, because it means you've seen them and you like them, and it gives me sort of impetus to keep going. Can you explain amends if sorry is empty for addicts? MOL. Yeah. An amends. And there's 5 steps to an amends. There's 5 clear steps to an amends that you would normally write. The way I do it is I write a letter with my sponsor, trying to put these 5 things in, and we do rewrite. I mean, I just started off with my kids. And I'm not kidding, we must have done 11 or 12 rewrites of that letter for my kids. They're never going to read it. They're never going to... I mean, Alfie's non-verbal and Poppy's too young. But maybe they'll read it when they're older. But he's like... He just kept making me rewrite it and rewrite it. It was really brutal because it's like, I abandoned you and I'm a bad dad. And, you know, you have to acknowledge what you've done. And then you have to have a real true empathetic connection to the pain. So you can't just go, I'm sorry. You've got to really feel. You've got to go, where in my life have I experienced this pain that I've caused my kids, like abandonment? Where have I experienced abandonment in my life? And you've got to bring that into your head and really, really sit in there and go, that is what you've done to your kids. And you have to really, 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 really feel that connection to the pain. And then you can't just say, I'm sorry. You've got to say, I am sorry, but here's what I plan to do to make sure that never happens again. And a concrete plan. My plan in all my amends is the same. I intend to go to meetings every single day, rely on my men for advice. Every time I have an idea, run it past a couple of guys. Really open up to the men in my home group. I go to men's meetings only. And I have to say, this is my plan for this never to happen again. So it's not just, I'm sorry, I won't happen again. Anyone can say that, and an addict will say that a lot, and it won't mean anything. I'm sorry, but here's my plan to make sure it never happens again. Then, last thing, is there anything I left out? So that's how you do a step 9. That's the amends letter. That's reading your... Step 8 is writing that. Step 9 is reading that to the people that you've hurt. So That's what the amends process is. The way it's different from sorry, firstly, is you've got that plan. You're going to be talking about the plan to back up the sorry. But some people won't accept that letter because it's all still just words. It could all be bullshit, because it's coming from the mouth of an addict. So I wouldn't trust it. So that's where you get the real hard bit, which is called a living amends. This is the first time I've seen you since having to remove you during all the mess. Yeah, I'm sorry about that. Sorry doesn't make any... okay, I can say sorry to Shells about that. So Shells just said, basically, I had to remove you because you were mental and you caused a lot of shit and probably hurt her feelings, and I'm sorry about that to Shells. But my amends, just not picking on Shells particularly, I'm just giving you an example of how this will work. So for Shells, she could hear me say sorry and go, that doesn't mean anything because he's a drug addict. And she'd be right to think that. And I could say to Shells, I'm doing a step 9 to Shells, I don't even know who Shells is, but I feel like I've seen that name before anyway. I'm trying to give someone advice about rehab here. Do you ever feel like you had too much work? I'm going to come back to this. Do you ever feel like you had too much work into rehab? That's what's stopping me. I did. Every time I went to rehab, I said I have too much work. I said my business is going to fall apart. I can't go to rehab. I'm too important. It's all just avoiding it. Everything was fine. Most people understood, and the people that didn't, I didn't need to work with them anyway. But you can't be too busy to go into rehab because you're literally saving your life by going into rehab. You'll be dead. If you're going into rehab, you've got a serious problem. Otherwise, you wouldn't be doing it. And if you don't go in, you're going to die. And then you won't be too busy because you'll be dead. Anyway, so Shells said, and she said I had to delete you because of the mess. And my amends to Shells would be, sorry about that, but here's a plan I have. Well, first of all, I have to say what I did to Shells. I'd have to say, sorry about this, Shells. I'm doing this to you because I'm trying to show everyone. It'd be, look, I know what I did. When I was... wait, I can't even say when I was in my addiction. I've got my sponsor in my ear now. Okay, I was an asshole online. I posted stuff that was when I was high. I was maximally narcissistic. I didn't care about the consequences of anything I was saying. I just wanted controversy. I just wanted the buzz. I just wanted followers and heat on my page to go up. And I would say anything to make money and gain followers. I say anything when I was high. So that's what I did. I hurt a lot of people. I didn't care. I abandoned my family. I put it all online. That I was about as low as you can get. That's what I did wrong. A true empathetic to the connection to that pain would be me going, have you been hurt by someone online before? Someone saying something bad to you online? So I think about the worst thing someone said to me online, and I just go, oh yeah, that's really painful, that's really hurts. So I'm really trying to connect to this, to Shells, sorry Shells, to your pain about me. I'm just trying to give an example. I'm not talking about Shells specifically here. So I go, has anyone said anything horrible to you online? Yes, I can think of a very specific line I couldn't even say here, and I got to think about that now. How did I feel? I was devastated. Have I been posted about badly online by someone else that's got a big audience and it's reached a lot of people and they've thought badly about that person? Yes. No, sorry. Someone posted something bad about me and made me like lit me up for a lot of people to feel badly towards me. Has that happened to me? Yeah. Think about it. How did that make me feel really bad? So I'm connecting to the pain that I caused the other person, you see? And then I say, okay, I can realize how painful that was. I'm not just saying it, I'm sorry because I caused pain. I'm going, how painful was that? It fucking sucked. So here's my plan to make sure that never happens again. Ain't no way you're sober right now. You can't win with some people. Here's my plan to make sure that doesn't happen again. Attend regular meetings. Run ideas about directions for content and maybe specific content ideas by a group of sober men who are not going to co-sign me they're not going to co-sign my shit. The guys in my AA group are hardcore. They're old school. They literally will shout at you. So that is my plan to make sure it doesn't happen again. And I would say, is there anything else that I've done that I didn't address here? That's it's not a year. No, I've only got 7.5 months, Taylor. Thank you, Laura. Well, thank you for that, because it was terribly sad watching your descent. Yeah, Sandra, I appreciate that, and I can identify with how people felt by my actions and my posting, because I can, in order for me to really feel genuinely sorry, I have to think about when it's happened to me, and that shit has happened to me, and it's awful. It's awful. And I've done that to many, 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 many people. And it sucks. And there's some people that I'm never going to be able to make amends to. And there's some people that I'm going to try and make amends to, and they're going to be like, F you. And that's fine. Because that's not, my job is to make amends to them. And their reaction to it is not in my control. So I can't control that. So as long as I do the work, write the letter, meet the person, or if it's if it's an ex-girlfriend or something, sometimes meeting that person will be traumatizing to the other person, so you can't meet that person. So then you have to either send a letter if you know where they live, or just make a living amends, which is live differently. It's wild, and it does work. They say in the book that when you are halfway through step 9, which is halfway through, when you're halfway through meeting all these people, or sending the letter or whatever, you will be amazed by the way your life changes. So I've done the steps 4 times before. Your ex said you were a wonderful father. That's really sweet, Jessica. I do think I am a great dad. I wasn't when I was using, but being a dad is my favourite thing in the world. I can say that it's my favourite thing. My favourite thing. And I do love those kids so much. If I could just be with them forever, I'd be happy. So, yeah, I feel like I light up when I talk about them. And I'm on this thing now where I don't feel qualified to do. My kids are great, thank you, Cal. I don't feel qualified to do. Alfie adores you, thank you, Shells. That's really sweet. I don't feel qualified to be in a relationship, so I'm gonna not do it. because I don't know. I'm getting used to being on my own, and I'm getting used to I'm getting used to being on my own, and I really fought against that. When I was 30 days sober, I started to date, which is a really bad idea. It was a really, really bad idea. Eesh. And I shouldn't have done it, and I just made such a mess. And I was doing it because I was lonely, but I was in such a mess in my head that I couldn't make any sense of what was going on. And it just got me so depressed afterwards, because I was like, well, I don't understand this stuff anymore. That's very sweet. ZOSH4. I am sober, Katie. 7.5 months. Dating is so different now. God, when me and Laura got together, there were no dating apps. No, and people weren't so swarmed in TikTok and Instagram, and just I feel like people have changed. Like people have just changed. People are different now to last time I was dating. When I first moved to LA, it has numbed what the when I first moved to LA, I was I dated a lot of women, and everyone was, because I was single before I met Laura, and everyone was nice and cool and normal. And they didn't have a lot of mental health. I don't think I met anyone that had a mental health problem. And I don't mind I've struggled with mental health problems, but I didn't feel like it was so I feel like there's been a big shift in people. I feel like people have gone downhill mentally since I last met people. And I don't know if I like it. After COVID, you think? Maybe that's why. Maybe that's what did it. I don't know. All I know is that in 2010, people that I would meet were very different from now. And I don't know if I'm like too old, perhaps I'm just too old, and I don't get it anymore. And I really fought against that. I was really like, I cannot be single. I cannot be on my own. It's the world's worst thing. I'm going to die from being on my own. And I'm not going to die from being on my own. And it enables me to concentrate more on creating music and content, and mainly my kids. I should say mainly being sober. But I don't think dating would stop me being sober. It might do though. Ari met her boyfriend on Tinder. That's cool. Who are you trying to convince? I don't know. Good point. Maybe myself. It's the Schumann resonance. Interesting. 1 month sober. Who's that? I am a bit tired, Kelly. 1 year next month, sorry, Blake. Congratulations. Three years sober on the 28th. Congratulations. Mate, recovery is personal. Sharing your journey is very brave, and my heart is holding out for you. That's very sweet. Thank you. Sometimes I start to read comments, and I don't like to read like really, really nice comments because I feel like I'm being egotistical. And 7.5 months, me too, Kiefer. And sometimes I won't read it first. I just start reading it, and then if it's really nice like that one, I'm like, oh no, that's it. I love that you've written something so nice, but then I'm like, oh man, now everyone thinks that I'm just an egomaniac, which I am. So you're correct. So that's fine. Do you deal with depression? I don't. I don't have depression. I don't. The psychiatrist tried to tell me I did. When I went to rehab, I had to have a psych evaluation. And I fought with the psychiatrist quite a lot about anxiety and depression because I don't feel like I have it. And she tried to tell me I have it. Thank you. She tried to say you have it when I first went to see her, which is heartbreak and grief are not depression. See, heartbreak and grief, I would definitely say yes. But depression, yeah, exactly. I wouldn't say depression. So I basically said, look, I stopped taking drugs. I can't believe I have to edit that word. And my life's fallen apart, and I'm realizing that now because I'm not high, and that's the problem, not anxiety or depression. And I liked her; she was really cool, but we argued about it. And I was like, I'm not taking antidepressants, and I'm not taking anti-anxiety medication. That's literally what I was using. And she was like, okay, we'll come back in. I think I did it every 2 weeks, or was it every month? I can't. I think it was every 2 weeks. And then gradually, she was able to see that I wasn't. I guess. I think she still thought that I was. But I had to put a puzzle piece in a puzzle because TikTok said we sensed inactivity. Yeah, so I'm not on any medication for anything. And I feel good. I wouldn't trust myself on any medication because I just can't take it. I'm too much of a lightweight. I can't do any medication. Can't do it. You know, the worst thing was sleep. I didn't sleep for the first 4 months. Do you have anything other than autism? No. Apparently, who doesn't have ADHD though? Everyone has ADHD. ADHD shouldn't be a condition now because everyone's got it. But yeah, who knows? I'm glad I came on TikTok Live. I've said it before, and I'll say it again. I like TikTok Live. I like it. I've always liked it. Even when everyone was being horrible to me. Deservedly. I liked it. What kind of tea do you like? You know what? I like chamomile tea right now. But I'm drinking decaf coffee right now. Are you fully clean? I'm fully clean for 7.5 months, Alison. Thank you, Jonica. Do you feel your children's mother is a good mother? She's a great mother. Not just good, like great, I would say. They lucked out with their mum. Thank you, it's all good. Will you remarry? No. I don't think I'm going to be with anyone ever again. It's sad, in a way, but I don't think I've got anything to give to another person. Because I'm so focused on my children, and I'm so focused on music, that they would be third on the list. And that's terrible. You don't want someone to feel like they're third on the list, but they would be, and I don't feel like that's fair. And that's something I learned. I thought I was ready to get to a relationship, but no. You were having a normal reaction to an abnormal situation. Favourite band of all time? Mine is Kings of Leon, says Tori. Favourite band of all time? Oh, that's hard. That's hard for me. Talking Heads, probably. Alison, do you miss your relationship with Laura? Yes. How long are you sober? 7.5 months. I'm from Canterbury. Well, I'm from Faversham, but I was born in Canterbury in Kent. I date someone, he's third on the list and he knows it. I was honest with him from the start. I don't even know if I'd be comfortable telling someone that, although I really admire that you did that. Are you and Laura amicable? Yeah. Are you on talking terms with Laura's parents? I did have a conversation with them. Hi, big fan. Thanks, Alicia. I can't play music on this live, Tori, because I'm in my kitchen. I could maybe do it later in the week. I've got a meeting. I've got a business meeting at 10 a.m. and I've got an AA meeting at 12. And I'm going to do some content in the afternoon. What time is it there? 11 o'clock. Best way to deal with a relapse, get to an AA meeting. Thanks, Lisa. What advice would you give couples before having kids? Easy. You're about to have the most amazing experience in your entire life. You won't just realize that you can love someone more than you ever thought was possible. You'll realize that your capacity to love gets bigger with kids. Your capacity to love gets bigger. That's the mind-blowing thing. It's not just that you love someone so much you never thought you could, your son or daughter. It's that your capacity to love gets bigger, which is crazy. It is hard. Yeah, it is hard. I should say that too. But I don't like to say that to people when they're going to have kids. I feel like a lot of people said that to us when we were pregnant. Oh, it's going to be hard. Because I don't feel like that's the best thing to talk about. It is hard. It's hard. I mean, yeah, it is. It is. It is. It really is sometimes. Does it bother you people asking you about your relationship or your children or sobriety? No, because I've been doing this online stuff by accident for 10 years. And if you do something for 10 years, you get used to it. And I feel like I am on the floor. I feel like you guys are part of my life because I've been speaking to you for 10 years. So you couldn't not. So I don't feel weird. I just feel like I'm talking to my mates when you like, how's your kids? How's your relationship? Have you ever thought of colouring your hair? I used to colour my hair. I went grey when I was in my 20s. My whole family went grey, like in their 20s and early 30s. I was grey from and I was like, I'm not having this. I'm not having grey hair when I'm 20 something. So I did dye it. But it was a pain in the arse because it grows really quick. Thank you, Bad Demands. Do you like when people say hello to you in person? I do. And you know what? I've never, ever had anyone be horrible to me in person. Ever. Everyone has been sweet and lovely, even when I was nuts. Even when I was nuts, people were so lovely. Are you religious at all? I do believe in God and I do believe in Jesus. I think that makes me, and I'm Irish. My dad's from Ireland and my grandpa was very Catholic. So I've definitely got some affinity with the Catholic religion. I like all the imagery. It reminds me of being a little boy and I used to go and see my granddad and the Marys and all the artwork. When I go to a Catholic church, it really reminds me of my granddad. So I feel really nice when I go to a Catholic church. It's so silly, but I've seen you a couple of times, but chicken out saying hi. What, in real life? People say hello to me in real life a lot. I like it. I've said no one's ever been horrible. Don't be the first one to be horrible, okay? I'm completely clean for the past 7 months, yes. Nothing at all. At all. Do you still crave? No. What was your DOC? All of them, except marijuana. I didn't like marijuana. It was the only one I didn't like. County Galway. What made you switch to being clean? My son trying to find me. What was your favourite music project? The two things I had the most fun on when I was doing music, I still am doing music, but when I was doing music with other people, was probably working with Depeche Mode for 3 months because I was so young and I'd never worked on a big band before. I was 23. That was amazing. And the most fun, Ocean's 11 score was the most fun I've ever had working on music. I did like the Harry Styles album. Yeah, the first one. Yeah, it's good. What's your favourite food? Mexican. What's the hardest thing about being clean? I need to hear something positive. Well, you asked me the hardest thing, so I'm not going to tell you something positive. You asked me the hardest thing. If you want something positive, that's easy. you can have a life beyond your wildest dreams if you're sober. That's just the truth. That's the truth. That's been my experience. Because you get, the big book of Alcoholics Anonymous says you'll be rocketed into the fourth dimension. And if I do the work, I do feel that. The hard part is doing the work. That's the hardest part. The hardest part is bloody doing the stuff that I know is going to make me feel amazing. Doing it's so hard though. And it's not that much. For example, reading 2 pages, 86 to 88 of the big book of Alcoholics Anonymous every morning. Reading those 2 pages, if I read those 2 pages every morning when I wake up, I'll have a way better day than I would if I didn't. Guaranteed. Do I do it? No! AI summary, answering questions about sobriety, music and life. Are you living at an Airbnb? Not anymore. I moved to an Airbnb because my ceiling fell down in the flood. It's fixed now. But they're just letting it dry out because they treated it for mold. So there were 3, there's 1. But they've fixed it all. 2. 3. Oh man, I haven't paid the dude yet. Damn, I've got to pay the dude. Do you think you'll ever love again? No. Is that defeatist? When I put this phone down, I have to pay that guy. Are you still getting to see your kids very often? Yeah, every weekend and once or twice a week. In the week. Every weekend as well. Asbestos, yeah, they tested this house for asbestos, and I was like, oh no, how much is this going to cost? But there isn't any. Are you introverted or extroverted? Introverted. I'm so tired. I suddenly got tired, which is good. Follow me. Don't if you don't want to. If you do want to, though. Tick that box. Tick the box. Tick the box. Go and tick the box. Go and tick the box. Go to the box. I've got to pay the dude. Yeah, I've got to pay the dude. Got to pay the dude. Okay, I'm going now. Show us how you square up. What does square up mean? Oh no, why did I ask that? You did just tick the box, thank you. It's ticked, oh good. Yeah, tick the box, tick the box. Tick the box! Tick the box. Go on. Go and tick the box, okay? Okay, I'm going to put the phone down now. But tick the box, okay? Tick it. Tick it. Tick it. Okay. I don't want to go, but I do want to go. But I don't want to go, but I'm tired. But I've got to pay the dude, but I'm tired. Yeah, thanks, Julie. I've got to pay the dude. I've got to pay the dude. I've got to pay him. I don't want to pay him. I'm going to pay him though, but I don't want to. Maybe forget about it. You won't forget about it. I will pay him. Thank you, everyone. You've been very sweet to me, and I really appreciate it. And I do love you. Tick the box. Tick the box. Tick the box. Tick the box. Okay, guys, I love you. Look, okay, I'm going to put the phone down now. Okay. Here we go. Okay.